Manic Meghan Markle's at it again, dazzling us with a blinding blizzard of frantic activity that looks like a lot, but upon closer examination, doesn't add up to very much at all.
What happens when royalty tries to rewrite luxury's rulebook? When the Duchess of Sussex herself decides that the most iconic handbag on earth needs a personal touch. You'd think Hermès, the crown jewel of couture craftsmanship, would roll out the red carpet. But instead, they rolled their eyes. What started as a quiet favor turned into a global scandal, a whispered humiliation so elegant, it didn't even need words. Today on FAMELOOP Daily, we're unpacking how Meghan Markle's demand for a custom Hermès Birkin spiraled into Birkingate, a saga of pride, power, and the one word that shook Montecito: no. It began, as these things often do, with a perfectly polite email. Late last year, Meghan's team reached out directly to Hermès headquarters in Paris. The request? A custom Birkin bag, one that no other woman on earth would ever carry. This wasn't your ordinary celebrity perk. Meghan wanted the bag to embody influence, power, and philanthropy. She specified ethical leather, gold-plated hardware, and even an engraved quote from one of her own speeches. You heard that right. She wanted her own words permanently etched onto the world's most exclusive handbag. And she wanted it ready in time for her Montecito charity gala, the event she believed would mark her dazzling return to the upper echelons of global fashion. To her team, it was visionary. To Hermès, it was presumptuous. Now, when Hermès says no, they don't just say no. They craft it like art. A few weeks later, an impeccably worded reply arrived from Hermès's International Relations Department. It was the kind of letter that sounds like a thank you note, but stings like a slap. Madame Hermès does not accept external creative direction on heritage pieces. Our legacy is defined by the maison, not by collaboration. Translation? You're not the designer here, sweetheart. The Duchess had just been told, ever so elegantly, to stay in her lane.
Asking all them questions, Why you asking all them questions, making statements?
But Meghan's team wasn't about to let that slide. Within hours, her stylist fired back an email suggesting that Meghan's fresh take could modernize Hermès for a new generation. Her assistant followed up, insisting that the Duchess's request was about aligning luxury with purpose.
Damn!
That was the breaking point. Inside Hermès, patience had run out. Instead of quietly replying, a senior executive did something almost unthinkable in the world of haute couture. They forwarded the entire email chain to a few trusted fashion editors. Cleaned up, yes, but still obviously recognizable. Attached was a short note. This is what happens when modern entitlement meets traditional craftsmanship. That single sentence spread through Paris faster than perfume in the wind. By morning, whispers were buzzing across luxury circles about a certain former royal who tried to tell Hermès how to design a Birkin. Within days, the story jumped from private brunches to fashion blogs to full-blown gossip headlines. And then came the statement that detonated the internet. They said no publicly.
What?
Hermès didn't issue a statement. They didn't post. They didn't leak names. They didn't have to. In the fashion world, silence is power, and Hermès just wielded it like a blade. Soon the phrase "Hermès rejected Meghan Markle" was floating from Milan to Manhattan. Then came the kicker. The brand's creative director gave a Le Figaro interview. When asked about celebrity collaborations, he smiled and said, "Hermès doesn't collaborate. We create." The reporter pressed, "Do you ever make exceptions?" He laughed softly. "We've had many requests, some very famous ones. But when a name outweighs the craftsmanship, we must decline."
What? Grenade?
Everyone in fashion knew exactly who he meant. By that afternoon, #Hermès rejects Meghan was trending. Memes exploded. Side-by-side photos of Meghan's red carpet looks next to iconic Birkins, captioned, "Not every door opens to a duchess." Inside Montecito, panic met fury. Sources say Meghan immediately called an emergency PR meeting. Her message was simple: get ahead of this. Control the story. She ordered her team to craft a narrative claiming she had politely declined a potential partnership that didn't meet her ethical sourcing standards. But before the press release could drop, Hermès delivered their next blow, without breaking a sweat. A new social post appeared on the brand's official account. It featured a vintage black and white photo of their founder with the caption, "Luxury is what you don't see." Below it, Hermès does not engage in public discourse. 2 lines, no hashtags, no shade. And yet, it said everything. The scandal now had a name: Birkingate. Emails leaked, bloggers dissected every rumor. A French columnist even mocked it as the world's most exclusive rejection. Within the week, stylists stopped returning Meghan's calls. Luxury PR agencies quietly dropped her from their client lists. One insider whispered, "Hermès didn't just reject the bag, they rejected her." In the world of fashion, that's exile. But if you know Meghan Markle, you know one thing: she doesn't bow out quietly. At midnight, she gathered her team again. This time, she called it Operation Legacy Reset. The new mission? Turn rejection into empowerment. Step 1. Denounce elitism. Days later, Meghan appeared in a charity segment wearing soft white linen, her tone serene as she spoke about the illusion of status and impact over labels. But eagle-eyed fashion fans noticed something chilling. Impact over labels was a direct quote from a 2019 Hermès interview about humility and luxury. The shade was real, and everyone caught it. Just when it seemed Meghan was reclaiming her image, the real explosion hit. A French journalist from Madame Figaro published "The Duchess Who Wanted a Birkin." It exposed everything: the email requests, the meeting times, even her engraved quote. The article ended with a single dagger line: "A Birkin cannot be earned through insistence, only through patience."
Boom. Roasted.
Hashtag Birkingate was trending worldwide. Late-night hosts mocked it. Twitter turned it into memes. TikTok reenactments showed fake Hermès execs nodding politely as violins played over Meghan's rejection speech. Her sincerity became a meme. Then came Hermès's final move: silent, devastating, cinematic. At their next fashion show, cameras panned across the front row. Beyoncé, Amal Clooney, Miranda Kerr, each holding a different Birkin. No one mentioned Meghan. They didn't have to. That photo alone was a message. This is the table you no longer sit at. When Meghan saw it over breakfast in Montecito, she reportedly whispered, "They're sending a message." They were. For Hermès, humiliation had become an art form. From that moment, the fallout was unstoppable. Stylists ghosted her. PR agencies dropped her. Even sympathetic editors started using the same phrase. Every time she plays the victim, it just reminds readers of the scandal. It's exhausting. That word, exhausting, trended all by itself. And yet, Meghan didn't disappear. She pivoted again. This time, she filmed a short, reflective piece, standing barefoot in her garden, golden light behind her, saying softly, "Sometimes the door that closes isn't rejection, it's redirection." It was graceful and poetic. But across the Atlantic, Hermès posted their newest campaign, a photo of an artisan stitching a Birkin, captioned, "What's asked for is ordinary. What's offered is timeless." No names, no hashtags, no noise, just power, wrapped in silence. And that, darling, was checkmate. In the end, Meghan's battle with Hermès became bigger than a handbag. It was a collision of two worlds: celebrity versus legacy, influence versus heritage, noise versus nuance. And as Paris proved, sometimes the quietest voice in the room wins. So, what do you think? Did Hermès go too far? Or did Meghan's ambition finally meet its match? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more royal revelations and high society drama right here on FameLoop Daily.